why we came to crab orchard today. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Doubled up, got a fish with Cam, good old Kindle, out here on Crab Orchard, Southern Illinois, looking for some slobby crab fish. Going after some LMBs, might hit some crappie later or some white bass. But we're back on the water. It's been a hot minute. We're gonna see how we do. Let's go. Oh, there's one. That's a good one.
In like 6 inches of water.
They do that here. Heck yeah. Well, folks, this is why we came to Crab Orchard today, for a good old crabby slab. Nice one. I'm gonna flip them in.
Should have kept that other 4-pounder to take a pic. Ooh, yeah, don't blame your hand.
Alright, Southern Illinois, Crab Orchard Lake. It can be a difficult lake to fish. I've definitely had my fair share, but I did learn some things, and today I got a simple setup, a little tip and trick on how I managed to catch some big fish on Crab Orchard Lake over the past couple of times in the years, and everything I've been learning just from going out on the water. And so yeah, I'm going to share with you my little secret that I do. So today I was throwing the fairy wand. I was throwing a 6 cents, a divine shaky worm with a 1/4 ounce shaky head. And that's usually the preference I go. When I'm fishing Crab Orchard Lake, I actually will flip this setup. 10-pound test. I usually have a 10-pound leader of fluorocarbon, but I got 10-pound braid right now. My leader snapped off. I don't feel like tying another one. So I got just 10-pound braid right now. But my reasoning for fishing this is very specific setup on why I fish this on Crab Orchard, especially in the summertime. So, Crab Orchard Lake, it can be a very dirty lake in some areas you fish. So a lot of the fish are going to be pushed up shallow for the visibility, especially when the sun hits the water. So typically you can find a lot of fish shallow. So I specifically put my shaky head at a 1/4 ounce. I go as light as possible on my shaky head for flipping the banks in the dirt shallow on Crab Orchard Lake. The reason for that is my fall rate. I want my fall rate to slow down so that when the bait specifically goes down, penetrates, if I got like 6 inches, a foot of water, whatever, it's going down, it's going to slowly fall instead of just plummeting down and laying on the ground right underneath the bass's chin. Another reason why I throw a shaky head, I personally, my personal preference, if I throw this shaky worm on a Texas rig, I'm not going to get the same outcome as I will if I throw it on a shaky head, because I think the shaky head is designed for it to try to get it to stand up as best as possible, whereas a Texas rig has a bullet weight, has a bullet weight shape weight, and no matter what, as if you're working that Texas rig, it's gonna hop and stand up and down. But I want this bait to sit. So when it's just sitting, I have a higher chance of this just sitting straight up than I do on a Texas rig. So personally, my personal preference, I have more confidence in fishing a shaky worm on the shaky head instead of a Texas rig. For that mere preference of the jig head is supposed to make that bait stand up. And then that also falls in with my fall rate. So my fall rate is going to help slow my fall rate down with the lighter weight. It's going to slow it down so that it stays in the strike zone and in front of the fish's face. Another reason, which also comes down to my jig head. If my jig head is standing my bait straight up, and I'm only fishing a foot of water, this is like almost 6 inches. So that's going to stand straight up. If the fish is here, it's gonna be in front of its face, and it's gonna sit there. If I'm fishing a Texas rig, that Texas rig is just gonna fall on the ground. The bass is still here. It's gonna be out of sight, out of mind. That bass ain't gonna care. And with how the visibility is on that water, I want it to sit in front of that face and sit in the strike zone a little bit longer than I can, as best as possible. Whether I'm fishing it fast or slow, I want the fall rate to slow down so it stays in the strike zone longer. And I want my bait standing up as best as possible so it sits in the strike zone longer. Good. And that is why, another tip, is why crankbaits work so well on Crab Orchard Lake. Because crankbaits are designed to go to a specific depth and stay at that specific depth no matter how fast or slow you reel it in. So a square bill crankbait, you can reel it in nice and slow and slowly keep it in that strike zone of where those fish are, with how deep you're fishing that square bill crankbait, deflecting it and causing ruckus in the water, causing them to get you a bite, you know. So that's my big success on Crab Orchard, is slowing down my fall rate and switching to a shaky head or to a jig head style weight, you know, even on a jig, football head jig or whatever. A jig head that will help my bait stand straight up so that it stays in the water column of the strike zone and it sits in front of the strike zone, it sits in front of the fish a little bit longer. And that's just, it's worked out for me. You know, I'm not catching massive giants, I'm not catching a whole bag, but I'm slowly creating more success on the water, learning more, not getting discouraged, causing me to have more confidence and more encouragement to keep going back on that body of water to learn more and figure out what the fish are doing. So that's my tip and trick. Slow fall rate, keeping the bait in the strike zone longer as best as I can, especially with the water, and, you know, Crab Orchard Lake. If you know it, you know it. But yeah, I think that's all we got for today. It's been a hot minute since I put out a video, but you know, slowly but surely. Weather's been crazy. It's been crazy hot. Tornadoes left and right, or crazy amount of rain. It's been freaking ridiculous. 2025 is definitely something. But don't forget, use my promo code if you want some Waterland apparel or glasses. I mean, this is the same pair I've had for about 2 years, and they're still just like brand new. The link will be down in the description below. DOF, save yourself some money, 15% off. I think that's about it for today, folks. I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any other stories on Crab Orchard, if you have any stories on Crab Orchard Lake, I would love to hear them. Leave a comment down below. Any tips, tricks for other people to see when they're out there fishing Crab Orchard Lake, leave a comment down below. Or just a crazy bad day or the best day you've ever had on Crab Orchard. I know there's stories out there. Leave a comment down below. And until next time, folks, I'll see you later.